Mark, why don't we start with you?
Okay, great. Thanks very much. My name is Mark Baker. I'm the Global CIO for JAS Forwarding. We are actually an international freight forwarding company, 3PL logistics. We handle all sorts of commodities. If you can think it, we probably moved it at some particular point around the world. We're a company that originated out of Milan back in 1978. We're Italian based in our culture, which is an interesting experience for me. I came from the German culture and then freight forwarding, and also in different industries in the past. So learning how to contend with the element of IT of if it looks good, that's a good thing. So based on that, JAS is located, it's made up of about 47 operating subsidiaries in 80 countries around the world. We have about 240 offices, which we deliver services to our customers in all sorts of different industries. Typically, people associate logistics to FedEx, UPS. We're a business-to-business model, but we move all of those commodities around the world that Walmart will buy in shipping containers that you see on the ships they're moving. The IT department, we move all that information with it. To give you an example is a furniture company in Hickory, North Carolina is purchasing wood from Shanghai, China. We have to be able to tell U.S. Customs what that commodity is, what it's made up of, the type of wood, before they seal the container so that they can decide what kind of tariff that they'll charge for that. So you can see that operating in real time is a real desire of the company. And this was really the nature of the project that we undertook, which was really an entire change of the enterprise architecture of JAS and how we were going to position ourselves into what we refer to as Global One, which was a single file, single database, single instance architecture that we could locate, and we could have those 240 offices access, come into and transact in real time, as well as integrate with our customers around the world. So it really presented several elements to this project, starting with the business processes themselves. I came to JAS with that particular intent, was to help them re-architect how they could deal with their business processes. Very simple concept is we wanted an employee in Shanghai, China to be able to relocate in Chicago, Illinois, and perform basically the same functions that they did anywhere else in the world. So it started out with the foundation of that and really optimizing how we worked as a company so we could have that level of consistency in terms of the operations of what we do. Well, it looks like I just made a donation to the pot here for some reason, and it's always at that time, but okay. So I'll make my contribution to that effect. So with that, it was really the foundation of a business process. And then we had to deal with was there really a system out there? We had been an internal development shop, so we had to deal with the basic buy versus build. Some of those elements that come into play. But then the real hardcore came with is how could we have 4,000 employees around the world have the same exact experience accessing a single instance, dealing with a single file for every shipment that we have as we move throughout the company. And with that, it was really a question of networking. So we found a partner, Ariaka, who I have to recognize a couple of gentlemen here there, which has been a solid partner for us. And why I mentioned this specifically is that, and I know my colleague next to me is in Riverbend, so they deal with WAN optimization. But we had to find a way to deal with cloud, not only cloud from the architecture of what we wanted to do for the application, but also the network, all of those elements. So for us, it was really a perfect storm of how to really deal with global enterprise architecture in a way to deliver a user experience that was the same anywhere in the world, to deal with all of the infrastructure issues in countries like Uruguay, South America, South Africa, in the Amazon of Brazil. So with that, this was really bringing a team of people together and then going after a very insane deployment schedule of 18 months. So you can imagine that it was going to be a real challenge. The first reaction was, how do we do that with a bunch of technicians? So the first thing is we're going to replace the IT department with a bunch of people out of the business. And that's really what made this project successful, was we went out and found the best of the business that didn't have an IT background and then told them what they needed to know about IT in order to deploy this. So with that, it was really a perfect blend for us in achieving an architecture that we needed to, solely driven by the business. So when you're dealing with that concept of business IT alignment, that's your opportunity to really restructure yourself in a way that let the business lead you, then you'll really become a valued partner into that as well. with that